Gilgo Beach, Unmasking Peaches and Baby Doe. For years, they were known only as Peaches and Baby Doe, two haunting Jane Does in the Gilgo Beach saga. Now, their names are Tanya Denise Jackson and Tatiana Marie Dykes. The identification brings a sliver of resolution to a decades-old mystery, but the darkness surrounding their deaths remains. Tanya Denise Jackson, a 26-year-old Army veteran, was Peaches. Her dismembered torso was discovered in 1997, a grim harbinger of horrors to come. Tatiana Marie Dykes, Jackson's 2-year-old daughter, was Baby Doe. Her remains were found near Gilgo Beach in 2011, a heartbreaking echo of her mother's fate. Give a like and subscribe. Leave a comment. The initial discovery of Peaches sent ripples of unease through the community. On June 28, 1997, a container holding her torso was found in Hempstead Lake State Park, Lakeview, New York. The peach-shaped tattoo on her body became her identifier, a cruel irony in her anonymity. Her death was estimated to have occurred only days before the discovery. Years later, in 2011, additional remains linked to Peaches were found near Gilgo Beach, deepening the mystery. The discovery of Baby Doe in Jones Beach State Park, near Gilgo Beach in 2011, added another layer of tragedy. The painstaking work of investigators slowly began to unravel the mystery. DNA analysis confirmed in 2015 that the toddler was indeed Jackson's child, but their identities remained elusive until the advent of investigative genetic genealogy. This advanced technique finally cracked the case. In early 2024, positive identification was made, bringing a measure of closure to a case that had haunted investigators for decades. Family involvement was crucial, with investigators interviewing relatives and collecting DNA samples. Tanya Denise Jackson was born on October 22, 1970, in Alabama. At the time of her death, she was just 26 years old, her life cut short in a brutal and senseless act. She served in the Army from 1993 to 1995, dedicating herself to service. At the time of her death, Jackson resided in Brooklyn, New York. She was believed to have worked in a doctor's office, a life of normalcy shattered by unimaginable violence. The items found with her remains offer a glimpse into her life: gold jewelry, a red towel, and a floral pillowcase. The timing and location of Jackson's and Dykes' remains inextricably link them to the Gilgo Beach serial killings. The proximity to other victims raises chilling questions about the scope of the crimes. However, authorities have not ruled out the possibility that these cases are unrelated. The Gilgo Beach killings have cast a long shadow over Long Island. The discovery of multiple bodies along Ocean Parkway exposed a dark undercurrent of violence. The identification of Jackson and Dykes adds another layer of complexity to this already disturbing case. Rex Heuermann, the suspect in other Gilgo Beach murders, looms large in this investigation. While he has not been charged in Jackson's or Dykes' deaths, his connection to the other victims cannot be ignored. Heuermann stands accused of the murders of Megan Waterman, Melissa Barthelemy, Amber Costello, and Maureen Brainerd Barnes. He is also charged in connection with the deaths of Jessica Taylor, Sandra Castilla, and Valerie Mack. The sheer number of victims linked to Heuermann paints a horrifying picture of calculated brutality. The investigation into his potential involvement in Jackson's and Dykes' deaths remains ongoing. Authorities are actively seeking information about the case, urging anyone with knowledge to come forward. A $25,000 reward is offered for information leading to the arrest and conviction of those responsible. The pursuit of justice for Tanya and Tatiana continues. The investigation is far from over. Every lead, every piece of evidence is being meticulously examined. The hope is that this renewed focus will finally bring closure to this tragic chapter. District Attorney Ann Donnelly's words resonate with determination. We will never give up until we can get justice for this mother and this child. Her commitment underscores the unwavering resolve to bring those responsible to justice. Stephen Fitzpatrick of the Nassau County Police Department has cautioned that these cases might be unrelated to the Gilgo Beach serial killings. His statement highlights the complexity of the investigation, A need to consider all possibilities, however unsettling, is paramount. The pursuit of truth demands a thorough and unbiased approach. The decision to publicize the identities a year after they were confirmed was a strategic one. It was hoped that reaching out to family and the public would generate new leads. The remains of Tanya and Tatiana have been properly buried, a final act of respect and dignity. Jackson and Dykes were laid to rest in Alabama with full military honors, a fitting tribute to Tanya's service. The community mourned the loss of a mother and daughter, their lives tragically cut short. The burial marked the end of their anonymity, but the search for justice continues. Despite the passage of time, the details of this case remain chilling. Jackson was never reported missing, a fact that adds another layer of mystery to her disappearance. The FBI identified the two victims in 2022, a crucial step in the long road to identification. Harbinger is charged with 7 murders of victims found on and near Gilgo Beach. The victims' deaths spanned from the 1990s to 2010, indicating a pattern of violence that stretched over decades. Harbinger was first arrested in July 2023 and initially charged with 3 deaths. The investigation has expanded beyond Gilgo Beach, encompassing a wider geographical area. 5 of Harbinger alleged victims were found on the same side of Ocean Parkway, a grim detail that underscores the calculated nature of the crimes. But another victim was discovered in North Sea on Long Island, further expanding the scope of the investigation. Mac's partial remains were found in Manorville, New York in November 2000. More of Mac's remains were found along Ocean Parkway about 11 years later, a chilling example of the fragmented nature of the discoveries. Authorities believe several of the women were working as sex workers, a factor that may have made them more vulnerable to exploitation and violence. The identification of Tanya Denise Jackson and Tatiana Marie Dykes is a significant step forward in the Gilgo Beach investigation. But it is also a stark reminder of the human cost of these crimes. The pursuit of justice for these victims and all those affected by this tragedy must continue. If you want to know more about this case, check out the video, Timeline Investigating the Long Island Serial Killings.